In order to be compliant with COPPA, I'm informing you that this video has been created with general audiences in mind and is in no way targeted specifically towards children. By proceeding, you are agreeing that you are within YouTube's terms of service and older than the FTC's definition of a child, which means you are 13 years of age or older, and that my intention is now abundantly clear up front that kids are not my intended audience. Thank you for your patience through this short disclaimer, and I hope you enjoy the video. How's it going, YouTube lovers? This is Pixel138, aka Equal Animator. Welcome back to another episode of Video Gamer. Today, I am here for another Snapshot review. It's been a while since I've done one of these, but this is the first Snapshot for the Caves and Cliffs update, 1.17. It is easily going to be the biggest update to the game. We were saying that about the Nether update, because the Nether update added quite a lot, but this is a total overhaul of the underground of the overworld. I am super excited for this. We've got our first set of features. We're going to be talking about them today. A couple predictions here and there. But let's go ahead and jump right into it because wasn't too much because the big stuff has, like, the Warden isn't here yet, but there's still plenty to go through. Before I get going, I am in a cave. It's kind of dark. Let's just... There we go. Now I can see everything that's going on. Probably remove it from me for one of these items, but for now I'll do this. And there's a lightning storm on purpose. But anyway, this first thing isn't necessarily a Caves and Cliffs feature. It is just a small thing that is here. This is E. But this is the lava cauldron. This is already a feature in Bedrock, I believe. But you can now put. Okay, I should have seen that coming. But you can now put lava in cauldrons, which is pretty cool. I'm not sure entirely what the use of this is yet, other than another storage system. In general, I don't know what the use of cauldrons are. It depends, really, because can you wash dye off of leather armor in Java, or is that just Bedrock? I don't know, but this is another use for cauldrons. You can store lava in it, as you can see, because you can fit into cauldrons. I completely forgot about that, so that was my mistake of standing in there when there was lava. But this was just the first thing, small feature. Let's quickly move on to the rest of these features. And why not? This next feature is the bundle. So here's the bundle right here. It is basically the backpack of Minecraft. So we had shulker boxes, and those are still the best way to go, but they're more end game, of course, because you have to beat the Ender Dragon. Technically, you don't have to beat the Ender Dragon, but you will probably have beaten the Ender Dragon before you actually get a shulker box. So the bundle here is actually crafted with rabbit hide and string. So we actually have a proper use for rabbit hide other than just making leather. So if I go here, you can see that bundle. This is how you craft it. You need 6 rabbit hide and 2 string, and you get yourself a bundle. So we have another use for rabbit hide. It's good to see features that rarely have use getting expanded upon, and that's another theme we're going to be talking about for another item a bit later in this video. But the bundle, like I said, is basically a backpack. So as you can see, I have a bunch of items here, and what the bundle does is it can hold up to 64 of any item, and it doesn't have to be 64 of the same item. So it's basically a way to combine stacks. So, for example, if I I have to right-click. That's how you do it. You hold something in your hand, like 32 iron ingots, and then you right-click on the bundle. So as you can see, this bundle is now full. It has 32 grass blocks and 32 iron ingots in it. If you want to empty the bundle, you just right-click, and it'll empty the contents into your inventory. So again, this could be anything. So say I wanted to do something like this. Let's try that, see if that works. So I put in the endstone, put in the iron, I put in the grass, put in the netherrack, and there we go. So we've got endstone, iron, grass, and netherrack, and it tells you how many are in here. They showed a different UI during the Minecraft live stream. They showed, like, it would actually physically have a picture of the items in there. I was not a fan of that because I thought it looked really messy and hard to read. This could use a bit of improvement. Maybe put a picture of the item instead of putting its name next to how many are in it. You know, like kind of like how this says 56 grass blocks, this says 48 iron ingots, just by showing a number on the picture. Maybe use something similar to that in this bundle. I get that could make it a bit complicated if you have like 64 completely different items in the bundle, but that's just that's going to be an issue with this version of the bundle as well. So I do feel like we need pictures, but I do not think we should have what Minecraft Live had, because I thought that was messy. So anyway, this is the bundle. A new use for the rabbit hide, which has barely had any use. Wait, I just realized something. Cauldrons are item trash cans if you put lava in them. Okay, we've got a use for lava cauldrons now. I just realized that. But anyway, we have a better use for rabbit hide. This is the bundle. Be a lot better for early game inventory management. Shulker boxes are still better. Okay, so that was the bundle. Let's go ahead and move on to the next item. This next one I'm actually really excited about, and it is the candle. We have candles in Minecraft now. So here's the candle. You can see you place it down just like that. You can't, well, technically you can place it on the side, but that looks weird. If you place it on the side, they should have it angled like a torch. Hopefully they can look at that in these snapshots. But you place it down like that, and this is basically the land version of a sea pickle, because I can place down up to 4 candles in one spot just like this. But you may notice, if I go here into where it's dark, because I don't have night vision right now, it is not giving off any light. And that is because, unlike torches, which are perpetually on, you need to actually take a flinted steel, or I'm pretty sure fire charge will work, and light the candle. Just like that. So as you can see, one candle, it's not really giving off much light. But if you place down more candles, you can see the light level is increasing. Now, I don't know if this spreads the same amount as a torch, like a full 4-candle stack, but it's pretty decent, and it's more aesthetically pleasing than a torch in some cases. And this is another thing I was talking about, expanded use for existing items in the game. Because the way you craft a candle, did I place one back here? Apparently I did. The way you craft a candle is with honeycomb and string. So go back to the crafting table, here's the candle. It's just 1 honeycomb and 1 string. So you actually have use for honeycomb now besides the blocks, which were pretty much decorative. So that's how you craft a candle. And you can also dye them different colors. So this is the basic candle. And as you can see right here, I can craft the black candle just like that, the lime candle, the red candle, and the blue candle. You can do this for all 16 colors of dye in Minecraft, including white, which means that this default candle is actually a 17th variant. So white is not the default. White candle actually looks different than this. So there are 17 color variants for candles in Minecraft. So if I place that down, so you can, as you can see here, I'm clicking on here, and it's just placing it next. You cannot combine candle colors into stacks. You can only put together candles of only up to 4. You can only put together candles of the same color. That actually would be cool if you can combine them. I can see why they wouldn't want to do that. But for now, you cannot combine candle colors in stacks. Another fun little feature about candles is that they can actually be placed on cakes. Even though cake is only half a block, you can go over here. Actually, let's get a proper color candle for this. And I could just right-click. I don't even have to shift. Well, maybe it's because I'm not hungry. But I just place the candle, light it, and we've got a proper birthday cake. Now, you can only place 1 candle on a cake, so you can't just increase the number of candles to 4, like when you place it on the ground. But we actually can put a candle on a cake in Minecraft. These are just a little thing, but it's one feature that I was definitely paying attention to when it was kind of shown during the Warden gameplay. You saw candles there. I'm curious to see if they'll overhaul dungeons and decorate them with candles, because dungeons are... Okay, I had this on peaceful before, and I turned it off to test something. I need to put this back on peaceful. But anyway, I wonder if dungeons will be getting an overhaul in this game, so it's not just the cobblestone room with a spawner and 2 chests. We can still keep spawner and 2 chests, but maybe you give it some more variety. Maybe use some stairs and slabs and some candles to decorate it. I think that would look really cool. I mean, it's caves and cliffs. Let's go ahead and update everything underground. Why not? Another thing that's interesting about candles is that you can actually place them underwater. They're waterloggable blocks, but you just can't light them underwater, which of course makes sense. They're on fire. Come on, count them here. But they're only waterloggable in solid blocks. If I were to place it in a flowing block, it would act as basically the way all Minecraft blocks worked pre-ocean. The update aquatic. I am forgetting things. But anyway, so that's the candle. Let's go ahead and move on to the next feature. This next feature is probably the biggest feature to be added in this snapshot, and that is a brand new ore. Copper is now in Minecraft. You can actually see some of the ore right here. This is what it looks like. And here's the ingot. I'm not a fan of this texture. It just looks like a blob. I'm not really a fan of the newer textures anyway, but this one doesn't even really match the other ingots, so I hope they fix that texture. And to mine it, you are going to need at least a stone pickaxe, and when you mine it, it'll drop the ore itself. So it's just like iron ore. You need stone, and it'll drop the ore block. So, as you can expect, what you need to do is pop this into a furnace, and then you can smelt it to get the actual copper ingots. Boom, just like that. And just like other blocks, if you have 9, you could craft it into a full-sized block. So let's go ahead and make a bunch of copper blocks just like this. As you can see, there's another recipe that shows up, and that is cut copper, where you put 4 copper blocks and you get another variant of it. And as you can see, you have the slab version of cut copper, and there's also a stair version of cut copper. So let's go ahead and place these blocks down. There's the regular copper block. It looks like plating. I really like that. Here's the cut copper. Here's cut copper stairs and the cut copper slab. So, unlike iron, so even though it's basically like iron, unlike iron, you can make stairs and slabs, and there's a variant block with it. There's also a wax version, as you can see here. That has to do with a brand new feature for copper. It's a brand new feature to metals in general in Minecraft, and that is oxidation. So let me actually go ahead into creative mode and fly up to the surface. Alright, so this is the copper block. Now, it would take a very long time to do this, but over time, copper blocks will actually oxidize and get varied levels of green rust on them, like the Statue of Liberty. It's copper, but it's green now. So if I actually... that is not how you spell copper. If you type in copper, you can see all the different variants here. So let's get the lightly weathered, semi-weathered, and weathered. So there are 4 stages. So there's regular, lightly weathered, semi-weathered, and weathered. As you can see, it'll advance to this slowly just by sitting out. Rain, I believe, will accelerate the oxidation process, but it still takes a long time in general, so rain wouldn't really accelerate that much. I believe it takes like 50 Minecraft days to go one stage. So you need 200 Minecraft days or so to get this block. That is the only way you're going to get that block, because you can't craft it oxidized. You have to leave it out, and it'll eventually turn oxidized. So that is oxidation, and the reason I said wax versions of copper blocks have to do with oxidation is because that is how... that's the wrong chest. That is how you can actually prevent oxidation from happening. So if I grab this honeycomb, again, another great use for honeycomb. So glad to see it getting more attention. Of course, I could make a honeycomb block, but now I can also wax copper blocks. As you can see here, I just 1 honeycomb and 1 copper block. This is... oh, that's... okay, I was confused for a second what it was doing. But as you can see, I can simply pop in the honeycomb with one of these blocks, and it'll wax it. And if you wax it, you can actually leave it out, and that stair right there, because it is waxed, will never change its stage. It'll never change its stage. If this block is sitting right next to it, eventually this block would oxidize because it is not wax, but this one would always stay there. That's another way you could actually lock it if you wanted just the semi-weathered look. You didn't want the full weathered, you could leave copper blocks out until they're semi-weathered, mine them all up, pop them in a crafting table with honeycomb, and then you could build something out of only semi-weathered blocks. I think this is a really cool mechanic. It's not really anything we've ever seen in Minecraft before, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But anyway, that is copper. There's a lot you can do with copper, and those are the next features we're going to be talking about. The first thing that you can make with copper, well, besides the blocks, is the lightning rod. So let's go ahead and grab the lightning rod. Now, of course, you need to make this with copper ingots. If I go to the crafting table, it's just 3 ingots straight up and down, and that gives you your lightning rod. So there's the lightning rod. You can place it like this or sideways. I'm not sure why you want to place it sideways, but you can. And I can actually show you, in order to mine this, even though you need stone to mine up copper ore, you only need a wooden pickaxe to mine up a lightning rod. It actually is pretty easy to break. And as the name suggests, a lightning rod will actually attract lightning. Now, let's go back into creative and fly up here because I already set up a lightning rod in a village that is just over here. So here it is. I stuck a lightning rod on top of this house right here. And if we wait here long enough, it's going to be struck by lightning. Because that's why I have a thunderstorm going. The thunder's a little loud and obnoxious. But I wanted to be able to showcase this for you guys. So, a lightning rod basically will only attract lightning within a certain area around and above it. So, if you place one lightning rod, it's not going to attract lightning from like 100 blocks away from it or 30 blocks away from it or something like that. I believe it has a radius of 15? It's either a radius or a diameter of 15 blocks. Really? There were like 5 lightning strikes every 5 seconds, and now you're just going to sit there and do nothing? With the camera's pointing at you? Are you serious? But anyway, this lightning rod is not being cooperative. Of course, it's probably going to strike as soon as I say that. But there is another use for it that I actually was thinking about, and that is better automation for creeper farms. Now, of course, I put this back on peaceful, so let's flip this over. But this is just a really badly designed farm that I set up. Let's go ahead and do this. So if I spawn, this is based on the basic idea of the charged creeper farm to get heads. But in this case, when your creeper is sitting there, I put 3 lightning rods to try to attract lightning bolts to it, so it'll actually charge the creeper, and it's not random chance. I'm actually trying to direct the lightning myself. Now, hopefully we get to see the lightning rod actually work. We're just going to be staring at you for a while, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. There it goes. Okay, so as you can see, the lightning rod got struck. That charged up the creeper. Now we can go ahead, release El Creeperito. I'm just going to put 2 hits on the zombie there. And if I go ahead and get a flint and steel, light up the creeper, boom, kills the zombie, check the chest, we've got zombie heads. That is actually really cool that this is going to help creeper farms out. You still have to wait for an actual lightning storm to do this, but it'll protect your home and it'll have a use for creeper farms. So that is the lightning rod. I'm really excited to see what the community is going to be able to do with this. And again, I think there should be a damage mechanic because it's getting struck by lightning. It's taking the brunt force. I think that would be a really interesting thing to see. But anyway, that is the lightning rod. But that's not all you can make with copper. We still have more things to look at. Next up, we have the Spyglass. Now, this is actually, I really like the texture of this. Now, this is basically optified zoom without optified. So, if I right-click with the Spyglass in my hand, get a bit of a clicking sound. You can see that we have a bit of an overlay there, and it zooms in. So I'm watching you, bat. The bat just flew into the lava. Okay, but as you can see, like, up there, that's the hole. Now you can really see the hole to the outside. I just hold right click and it zooms in, and we can look far away. No optifine required. And the way you make this is with copper and something called an amethyst shard, which I'm going to be talking about in just a little bit. So anyway, if you go over here, it's really simple to craft Spyglass. It is just 2 copper and 1 of these Amethyst shards. And then you have zooms that you can go on your adventure exploring. And it actually really looks cool in third person. If I go ahead and hold right click to zoom in, you actually hold the Spyglass up to your eye and look through it. I think that is actually really cool. You don't get to enjoy that a lot when you're the one using it, but I think that is a really neat little feature to have for the Spyglass, so it's not just right click and your character zoomed in. Right click, it actually shows that you're looking through the Spyglass. Now, I really like this. I'm not sure if I would use this because of Optifine. We'll have to see if this affects Optifine in any way whatsoever. Again, it is cool that it's finally actually a feature, because my belief is that if you have to use a mod to access something, it is not a feature in the game. Like connected textures. I love connected textures, especially for glass. But it is not a feature because I need a mod to do it. Now, we finally have zoom in the game. I'm just not sure if I would do this if Optifine kept doing it, simply because I use Optifine to make sure that my game doesn't turn my potato computer into even more of a potato. So this is the Spyglass. Pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory, but it is another use for copper in this snapshot. We've gone over our uses for copper. Now let's go over another use for that Amethyst shard I talked about before, and then we'll explain how you can get Amethyst shards. This use for the Amethyst is Tinted Glass. It is a new type of glass right here. So here's regular glass, here's Tinted Glass. You can see it almost has like a kind of purpley obsidian look to it. But as we all know, if you place down glass, you need Silk Touch to pick it up. This is not true of Tinted Glass. I can go ahead and mine this with my hand, and I picked it right back up. I have 64 again. So this type of glass is really easy to place down and pick up. In order to make Tinted Glass, you're going to need 1 piece of glass and 4 of these Amethyst shards, and that will give you 2 Tinted Glass. So you get 2 glass for the price of 1. You just need the extra Amethyst. Now, this is actually... Let me get rid of my night vision here, because what is really interesting about this glass is the fact that it won't let any light in. So let's actually mine myself into a hole. Just like this. We're going to place this, and then, see, we're getting all this candle light right here. That's why we can see. If I place down this block, boom. We can't see the flames from those candles, and the light is out there, but there is no light in here. So Tinted Glass is glass you can look through, but it will still block the light. Now, what I think this is going to be most useful for is with mob farms. For example, the example I'm talking about is the charged creeper farm that I showed you earlier. This right here is an entire panel of tinted glass. So I can still look in and see all the spawning platforms for the creepers, but it doesn't let any light in that could prevent the creepers from spawning. That's what I think the tinted glass is probably most going to be useful for. It could also be great for if you want to build some kind of cave base that had a dark aesthetic, like with chain and candles, and you wanted to keep it really dark. But this, I think, is going to be most useful is mob farms that you can still look in there and see what's going on, see if you need to do any kind of maintenance or anything. But it won't let any light in. I think that is really interesting. I wonder if they're going to have any kind of different colors of tinted glass in the future, if it's just going to be this purpley color. Maybe like darker versions of regular Minecraft dye would be cool, because this is darker than normal glass. I don't know what their intention is with this. This feature kind of took me by surprise, because I didn't even know it was being considered as an option in the game. But that is Tinted Glass. We're time to move on to the final feature, which is how you can actually get the amethyst crystals you need to make this and the Spyglass. I can't speak. At last we come to what is, while copper may have been the most expansive and biggest in that sense feature of the snapshot, this is the one that feels the most like the new cave generation that we are getting. This is the first bit of new generation in this update, and this is the Geode. So let's go ahead and grab all of these blocks in here. I'm going to need all of them to demonstrate what is going on. So if you know what a Geode is in real life, it looks all rough and ugly like a real rock, a regular rock on the outside, but on the inside, it is crystal. And that is exactly what a geode is. It is a generated structure underground that is rough on the outside with crystal amethyst on the inside. Like this right here. This is actually a geode that intersected with this ravine. Let me actually... I don't need to kill myself. I can just clear by effects that I have night vision taken away. And here is the geode, as you can see, open on one side, with all of these little crystals growing all over the place. So let's go ahead and grab this. So the outside of a geode, just like a real geode, is kind of ugly and more like a rock. So we have this right here. This is the tuff. And then we have just inside the tuff is calcite. And then we get the blocks of amethyst. And that is what makes up the interior. Now, we can go ahead and... Which one is this? This is Fortune. So as you can see, you don't need Silk Touch to mine this. These are crystals that actually grow on amethyst. You don't need Silk Touch for that either. So you can see I get 4 amethyst shards. Silk Touch works as well, but it just gives you the cluster instead of the shards. If you have a regular or Fortune pickaxe, you can mine these and get the shards. And as you can see, I got way more than 4 on that. So just like a regular ore, you can get more than you would expect if you use Fortune. So these are the amethyst clusters. They come in various stages of growth, as you can see, because this is actually an ore that grows in the game. Now, it doesn't just grow on blocks of amethyst like that. It grows on special blocks like this. See how the texture is slightly different? This right here is the budding amethyst. Now, what's interesting about budding amethyst is, unlike as I showed you, I can mine up this block of amethyst just fine. If I try to mine this budding amethyst, it just breaks. So that was with the Fortune pickaxe. If I mine this budding amethyst with Silk Touch, same thing. It just breaks. And also, I can show you, if I put down this budding amethyst, and I place a piston down... Bat, move, please. If I place a piston down, say, what if... It would take a long time, but what if I try to push it to my base to build a farm there? It'll just break it as well. You can push a regular block of amethyst, but you cannot push a budding block of amethyst. That will cause it to shatter. So they said the reason they're doing this is so that they'll try to force you to build farms other places, like how you would build a farm built around a mob spawner. They want you to build a farm built around where the budding amethyst generates inside a particular geode. So this is actually really cool. I don't think we have growable ores in any sense in this game. The only growable things we have are either food or potion supplies like nether warts. We have no growing ores like this. This is really cool. Maybe this opens the door for more crystals in the future. I think that would be really neat to see, because geodes are cool, but they're just one small part, and more crystals would definitely lighten up and also add more variety to caves in the future. So anyway, this is pretty much it. This is the snapshot, the first snapshot, 20W... Is it 20W? Yes, it is 20W, 45A, the first snapshot for the 1.17 Caves and Cliffs update. We've got bundles, we've got candles, we've got copper, we've got amethyst. This is just the tip of the iceberg for the Caves and Cliffs update. We don't even have any of the new mobs yet. We're still going to get goats, wardens, axolotls. We've got so many more new mechanics such as archaeology and skulk sensors that'll be coming to the game. I'm really excited to get around to those and mess around with them myself. I don't know if I'll be doing snapshot reviews past this. Recently I've been tending to just do the first snapshot of an update, and don't do any of the future ones, because I have a lot more series going on right now. But I will definitely be keeping track of this. I'm really excited to see what happens. I cannot wait for this update to come out so I can update my Let's Play world and go exploring new chunks to find some of this stuff. This is going to be really exciting. Oh, I saw that right there. This is already starting to grow a new amethyst crystal. Like this, I think this one's fully grown. Yeah, that one's fully grown, so I think I can pick up the non-fully grown one because I have Silk Touch. Nope, I take that back. It's available in the creative inventory, but you can't pick it up with Silk Touch. You can only pick it up once it's fully grown either Silk Touch or Fortune. Okay, but anyway, that's going to do it for today's video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Please drop a like, leave a comment down below if you did, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye, guys!